What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the third episode of the Hold That Thought podcast, where I do the exact opposite. I appreciate all you guys coming back. Third episode, we're doing it. We're here. Just got back from vacation. We'll get into that later. If you guys are watching the video version on YouTube, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. It really helps me out. If you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple Music, you can rate that 5 stars to help me move up on the algorithm. And Spotify, you can like it. I appreciate all that support I've been getting so far. I really enjoy doing this. I really wanted to get this third episode out, but I'm kind of glad I waited. I got some brand new news that just happened like right before I was about to start recording. So we'll hop into that in a little bit. And I got a lot of stuff for you today, so let's hop into it. All right, so I got quick bites to start off with, as always. Unfortunately, we got to start this out on a somber note. RIP to Chadwick Boseman, man. Black Panther, great actor from my state of South Carolina. Man, this one hit me like a ton of bricks, man. It really did. I was really like disheartened and just like, I don't know. It was really unfortunate, and for him to have been fighting illness this long and not tell like no one really knew about it, and him just working through it was just amazing, and it just showed towards his work ethic as an actor and just an artist, and how much he cared about the craft. It was just RIP Chadwick Boseman. The movies he was in was great. Everybody's talking about Black Panther. Yes, that's his most notable role, but he was in a lot of other great movies. He was in 42. He was in a lot of other movies. 21 Bridges was on one of his most recent big ones, and he has a few on Netflix. He has a few going around on Netflix right now. I honestly haven't watched all of them, but I'm gonna make time at some point to watch all of them. Hopefully, I don't cry through it. But again, RIP. He died too young, man. It's really unfortunate. But he left a great legacy behind. My prayers go out to his wife, his family. Just really unfortunate. And just a quick note, man. No one cares right now about Black Panther. I'm not worried about Black Panther 2. Let these people mourn. Let his family mourn. Don't cloud it with Black Panther and Marvel, dude. He was more than that. He was more than that. He was a great man. So just let that legacy let his legacy live on. Yes, he was in that movie, but don't worry about what Black Panther 2 is gonna have. It's not important right now. It's really not. But honestly, it's probably a lot of people's first thought when he passed away is like, what's gonna happen in Black Panther 2? Are they gonna still make it? Blah blah blah. Was it already filmed? No, that's not the most important thing right now. The most important thing is remembering him and remembering his legacy as an actor. So just RIP Chadwick, a great king. We lost one too early, and yeah, that's it. But the rest of the show is gonna be hopefully positive. So until I get to my last topic, you'll see what the last topic is if you stay around long enough. All right. Next thing we got, Meg Thee Stallion. Hey, it's just something I put in my quick bites. I didn't have much for quick bites. Not a lot has changed since I've been gone. I was only gone for like a week, but from what I covered in episode 2, not much has changed with a lot of the situations, like the Apple and Fortnite thing. I think they actually went to court for one of those issues so far. So well, I'll keep an eye on that. But actually, nothing major's happened. They released the documents of the lawsuit, but hey, that's not what I'm talking about. All right, so we're talking about Meg Thee Stallion and snitching and all the flack and whatnot she's been getting from telling people that Tory Lanez shot her. So a lot of people are probably privy to this situation. So Meg Thee Stallion apparently was with Tory Lanez and some other friends, and they were in the car, and apparently they got into some kind of argument, and she didn't want to. I don't know. She just got out of the car, and apparently Tory Lanez shot her in the foot. And when the police came, I don't know who called the police, but when the police came, she lied and said that she just stepped on glass or something, and that's how she got those injuries. But she later came out and said that Tory Lanez shot her, and the backlash that she's been getting is that a lot of people are just calling her a snitch, and I don't agree, dude. Like, if you get shot in the foot, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna call the police? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna just be like, hey man, I ain't gonna snitch on you, I'm just walking off? And she was apparently trying to protect him, and that shouldn't be the mentality that she should be in, man. She should be like in protecting herself. if he's in that mindset enough to shoot you just over an argument or whatever, protect yourself, go get some help. I don't give a shit. If you're trying to protect your life, fucking, I don't even consider that snitching, dude. It's your life. She's not in a gang. She's not about that fucking hood shit. If you want to glorify that, it's not about that. It's about her being safe. And I mean, obviously somebody didn't feel safe. They called the police, and that, I was just like, dude, what a crappy situation to be in, dude. Like, you can't even protect yourself without people calling you a snitch or whatever. It's just, I'm not against Meg. More hate or just anger should be towards Tory Lanez for even shooting her in the foot. Like, what the hell? I don't care if you're a hothead, got a hot temper. You're gonna shoot somebody in the foot? Like, whatever. That's all I gotta say about that topic. It's fine. She can tell the police or someone if she gets injured, if she feels like her life is threatened. She shouldn't have to feel like she needs to protect him. That's just a toxic relationship. If you want to cover up for something like that, who knows what else is going on in her life. I'm not gonna dive too deep into it because she got her own personal stuff going on, and I'm just here. I'm just talking to a camera. So that's all I feel about that situation. All right. So next to go to my quick bites is going to go into the gaming portion of this podcast. So free games for PSN this month for September. I am recording this on September 3rd, 2020 at 10:51 in the morning. So the free games for PSN, if you guys don't know, there are free games every month if you are a gamer. And if you have PlayStation Plus, they give you like at least 2 free games a month. So the free games for PSN this month are Player Unknown PUBG. I don't know why I'm trying to say the whole world. It's Battlegrounds. You know what game it is. It's been around for a while. It's a battle royale that's is it third person? I think it's third person. I haven't played PUBG honestly, but I played games like it. I played Cuisine Royale, which is, I think people say it's like a PUBG like knockoff. I like the game. But PUBG is free, and Street Fighter 5. I tried to play Street Fighter 5 last night, and I suck at that game. But I want to learn how to get better. So PUBG and Street Fighter 5 are for PSN, and for the Xbox boys who have no games to play at all, the Division 1 is free. There's a whole second game that's been out for years, and they gave you the Division 1. All right, just let that sink in. All right, so, and the Book of Unwritten Tales 2 and Armed and Dangerous are also free on Xbox. So if you guys want some free games and you need you just want to I always suggest people just add them to your library. You never know if that game's gonna blow up later, or if you just find interest in it later. Just download it, put it in your library, and it'll be there. If you get a new PlayStation or a new Xbox, it'll be there too with your account. So those are the free games for Xbox and PlayStation. I didn't look up the Epic and Steam Steam free games, but go look at them, go take a look, and Epic has new free games like every week. So I suggest that you go and look and see what's free or what you're interested in. There's so many sometimes that I don't feel like putting them on there on my notes. But I remember that I got all of the Batman games, like all the Lego Batmans and the Arkham Knight series. They were all free at one point. If you missed that was a huge free game sale. Like, what the Epic has some really good games, so I suggest you guys go look at it. I'm not sure which ones are free because I didn't feel like looking it up. All right, so now we're gonna dive right into the gaming part of the podcast. So the big news that I got before the podcast started was that Mario Direct came out. It's not a Nintendo Direct, it's a Mario Direct. So it was all Mario related, and the biggest takeaway I got from it, they announced some other things with Mario Kart being like I don't know give me one second. My headset turned off. I don't know why I have it on. I don't really need to hear. So I'm gonna keep it in. I ain't starting all that over. All right, so Mario Direct came out, and the biggest announcement was Super Mario 3D All-Stars. That was announced with the Mario Direct. That literally just happened like 30 minutes ago before I started streaming. And this was rumored for a while, and I'm so glad that it actually came to fruition. Bro, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy are coming to the Switch on September 18th. Bro, that is, oh my god. I've been saying this since the Switch came out. I knew that they put this on every console. They had to put 64 on the Switch. They had to. And just to get Sunshine in that, I don't give a shit. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't give a shit, but I've never played Galaxy, but this will be my chance to actually finally play Super Mario Galaxy. But 64 and Sunshine on the Switch, I'm gonna have a reason to pick up my Switch again. Thank Zeus, Jesus Christ, thank you for putting something on the Switch that I actually am interested in playing. I know there's a lot of other games that people enjoy on the Switch, but those two games hold a really special place in my heart. The nostalgia of 64. By the way, when they were showing it, you guys can probably go watch the video. I'm not going to show it here because Nintendo be tripping about their copyright. On 64, it's still not full screen from what I saw in the preview. They made sure to put that in because the other games are. Sunshine is full screen to the Switch, fit the screen of the Switch, and Galaxy is definitely. Because I don't know if they didn't want to just like remaster it. I really wish that was the biggest disappointment of this announcement, that they didn't just remaster all of it. Like they could have, if they were planning this for a while, which I think they were, because I heard these rumors like last year that they were putting all these games on the Switch, and they could have remastered 64 unless they just didn't want to go through that. I don't know what the purpose is behind that. They didn't even fit it to the whole Switch screen, so that was kind of interesting. I mean, it looks a bit. It looks. Don't get me wrong. It looks better than it did on the Nintendo 64, but Super Mario 64 on the Switch still looks kind of dated. Which I guess maybe that's what they're going for, because they in the Mario Direct they also announced some older games that are coming. The older Mario games that are coming back to the Switch. But which those I'm not too interested in. But I could see I do dabble in their old library that they have. I think that's actually free, if I'm not mistaken. They have an old Nintendo library on the Switch, and you can play a lot of the old games. I play Donkey Kong a lot for some reason. I don't know why, but I enjoy playing the old Donkey Kong where he's just throwing the barrels and whatnot. But yeah, that's cool. And they kind of also announced like Tetris 99. If you play Tetris 99, it's like a battle royale for Tetris. I guess whoever does the best and makes it to the end wins Tetris 99. So that's really cool. And they're doing that with the Super Mario World games, which is such a good idea. I'm not gonna play it, but it's such a good idea, and I'm gonna love watching people play that game. It's gonna be very interesting. Like the speedrunners are gonna come out. Everybody's gonna come out who enjoy playing those old retro games. It's gonna be such a good avenue for them. It's gonna be really interesting. So yeah, that's gonna be good. All right, so next up on my gaming news, on the date of this recording, the Avengers Assemble game has released. I've gone through this on my last 2 episodes, so I'm not gonna harp on the Avengers again. So this is gonna be really quick. It came out. The game is still broken. Do not buy this game. Do not buy this game. Do not support this because they're releasing an unfinished product. Do not buy this game. Speak with your wallet, bro. Speak with your wallet. If this game was good, if it was fixed and optimized, I'll be championing this game because it's really interesting, and I wanted it to be so great. And they still didn't fix it on release. They still didn't fix the game. I was scrolling through my Twitter when it released, and this dude said, I just started this game and it's already crashed on me 3 times. And there's been several other people saying the same thing. It's not a finished game. Vote with your wallet. If you don't want content like this still coming out, do not run to GameStop. Don't open up your PSN and buy this game if you know that the product is not going to be finished. Wait till some reviews come out. Wait till people start telling you how bad this game is, and then you'll see that this game is not worth the $60 price tag that they're putting it on. They did not finish this game, and I wanted it to be so great. I love Square Enix, and they make practices like this all the time where they don't release finished games, but I wanted it to be great. That's it. I'm off for the Avengers. I'm off. That's the last I'm going to talk about it, hopefully. Unless they do something else stupid or fix the game, that's the last time I'm going to talk about it. All right, so next in gaming news, we got the PS5 pre-orders for the pre-order. All right, so if that sounds confusing, The PS5 to this date, September 3rd, has not released a price tag. It's not released a price tag, and it has not released a data release. So what you can do in the meantime, if you are interested in pre-ordering one, not knowing the price, you can go on the PlayStation website. I don't know what the website is exactly, but you can put in your PSN, and you put your thing in, and you can register for a pre-order. And that is the stupidest thing I ever heard, because there is a limited number of consoles that they're making. I think they said about making, I think they said 10 million. Don't quote me on that. I think they said about 10 million for the whole world, not just America. I don't know if that's the exact number. I might be lowballing it, or it might be something like 300 million. I think it might be something like 300 million. Don't quote me on that, but they made it a limited number of PlayStation 5s, and those have to go all the way around the world for the 7 billion people that we have on the planet. So, and then granted, not all 7 billion people are going to want to buy a PlayStation 5. A lot of people are going to want to buy an Xbox for some reason. And yeah, they got to figure out what they're doing, because I also heard that they said that from you putting in your user ID, your PlayStation Network account, they're gonna choose the most loyal or the biggest PlayStation fans to actually be chosen. So if you're new to PlayStation and you're just like, hey, maybe this is my time because Xbox ain't got no games, I don't know how they're gonna determine that you're a PlayStation fan. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some sketchy stuff going on with that. They might pick the biggest streamers or people who review their products well or whatever to get their product. So I don't know how that's gonna work, but just go for it. Register your PSN, and if they pick you, great. And if you actually want to buy it with whatever price they put out, then great. But if you sell it, allegedly, if you're planning on selling that, then that could be a big payday for you, because a lot of people aren't going to get that pre-order registration. So you might want to just go for it and see what happens. All right, next up on gaming, the Nvidia dropped their 3000 line of graphics cards. They released their TI 3000 graphics card series. Personally, I have a 2080 on my PC, so I don't plan on upgrading to any of these anytime soon. But if you're looking to build or looking to buy a new pre-built PC, I'd probably wait till these come out. I mean, the price tags are pretty high on these things if you just want to install it on your current build. But let me pull this up on my stream. If you're watching the video version, I'm pulling it up so you guys can see the price tags. All right, so I'm zooming in so you can see the box chart they have. All right, so they're releasing 3 different models. All right, so first is the GeForce RTX 3070. If you guys don't care about this, I'll be talking about other things later, but this is my gaming section. I'll talk about gaming stuff. All right, so the GeForce RTX 370, which is the cheapest model, is running at $500, which isn't bad. I mean, graphics cards do run a lot of money, and also these are new. These are brand spanking new. The prices are going to be high. So this one's coming out in October. It's at $500, 8 gigabytes of GDDR6. So that's really good RAM to have in your computer, but it's only 8 gigabytes. So I mean, that would still be great. But if you're looking for more, they're releasing the 3080, which is $700, 10 gigabytes of GDDR6. And that one's releasing on September 17th. I wonder why these dates are so far apart. Why wouldn't they release them all at the same time? That's very interesting. And the GeForce 3090, which is for you big baller boys out there who want you to have the best running, fastest fucking computer on earth. If you want that, you dropping $1,500 off rip, my G. $1,500 for a freaking graphics card. I don't know about that one, Chief. September 24th, it's coming out. So you guys can have fun with that one. And I'm gonna keep my 2080 for as long as I can. As long as it's gonna be good, I'm keeping my 2080. So It's going to be great for GeForce. It's going to be great business for them. A lot of people are going to flock to that. I'm personally not yet. If I ever want to make a new build or upgrade my stuff, I think I'm fine with the 2080 for now. I don't have a 4K or 8K TV to actually utilize any of this. So for me, it's kind of pointless. All right. So that's what's going on with NVIDIA. AMD is probably coming out with their line soon. So if you're more of an AMD person, then be out on the lookout for AMD. All right. So that's pretty much all I have for my gaming news. I probably could have added more, but personally, I think it's been kind of slow on the gaming side. They did have the DC fandom, which I didn't put on my notes, but they announced the Suicide Squad game and the Arkham Knights games, which both look amazing to me. I'm going to buy both of those games. They come out a year apart. Rocksteady is making the Suicide Squad game. It was just a CGI trailer, but we're fighting Superman if you haven't watched the trailer yet. So it's gonna be that game's gonna be really good, and the Arkham Knights is gonna be great. It just looks so good. They have Batgirl, Nightwing, Robin. No Batman in this game, which some people were upset about, but those games both look great, and they're also rebooting the Suicide Squad movie. So that'll be interesting. All right, so up next is my media. If I'm rushing through these topics, it's because I'm really trying to get to my last topic, which I really want to talk about. And I think I want to shorten the episodes down a little bit. An hour felt like a bit much, but I was just having a good time talking to you guys. So it goes however long it goes. All right, so media is just where I inform you guys about what I'm watching or what I'm listening to in my life. So I just finished Daredevil. I rewatched Daredevil. When I originally watched the show, I had only watched the first 2 seasons. So me and my wife, I was like, "You don't watch Daredevil?" She's like, "Sure." So we watched Daredevil all the way to the end. Just finished it. The show is as great as I remember. I never watched the 3rd season, and the 3rd season was so damn good, except for the ending, man. Except for the ending, and I'll get into that in a minute. This is gonna be like a mini review for the show. It's not gonna take that long. But like I said, the show is great. The choreography and the fight scenes, the acting, minus Foggy kind of, because his acting was good for his character, but it could have been better. I love his character, but I think his acting could have been a little bit better. And the main villain, spoiler alert, not really. It's not really a spoiler, because if you know anything about Daredevil, you know who he usually fights. Wilson Fisk. The actor that played Wilson Fisk in that show was so good. He was my favorite character in the show. He was like actually intimidating. Like, it'd be so scary if a person actually had that much power. It'd be so freaking scary if one person could control everything like he did in that show. If you haven't watched Daredevil, it's my favorite of the Netflix Marvel shows. So that's why I rewatched it. I was like, I gotta revisit. I actually have to finish this franchise, and that's where I go into the ending. All right, so the ending of this show, I'm not gonna spoil it. The ending of the show was not done. It was not meant to be the actual ending of the show. And I think I knew that when I watched it the first time, because I had finished the first 2 seasons and the 3rd season was coming out, and they had already announced that this was going to be the last season of Daredevil. And I was like, well, there's no point of me actually watching the 3rd season. So I then went on and watched Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. I started watching The Punisher. I need to finish that one. That might be the next one I watch, but I never finished those. So, and I never finished The Defenders either, because they pulled it off. That's when Disney Plus was coming around, so they kind of pulled everything off, and I was just like, well, there's no point in me finishing any of these, so I kind of gave up on the whole franchise. They had some good shows though. I would suggest anybody who is a fan of Marvel, anything Marvel, just go watch those shows. They're good to pass the time, good entertainment. So that's pretty much it. Daredevil's a great show. And moving on to next, we finished Trinket season 2. If you watch the show on Netflix, I personally very thoroughly enjoyed the 1st season. It doesn't seem like a show that I would watch, but it was really good. It's a show about 3 teenage girls in high school. They steal stuff. They're criminals, and they shoplift a lot. And it's more than that. They have like relationships in the show, and they develop. They try to grow out of being thieves all their lives. And the show, the 1st season to me was so much better than we just finished the 2nd season. The 2nd season was meh. I felt like none of the relationships in the show actually mattered. So I was just like, Like, the characters would get in a relationship and then they break up with that person. It felt like it happened every show in the second season, but it felt like there was no consequences for anything. Like, they would go steal something, get caught, people wouldn't care that they were stealing in the store. It's like they really didn't have any consequences. It's like it kind of glorified stealing a little bit in my eyes, but it showed that it had a little bit of consequences, I guess, because the parents actually, once the parents got involved, I feel like they kind of faced some consequences. But I don't know. Season 2 was I still enjoyed the show in total. Go watch it. It's a good time killer. All right, so next up, we started rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender for the second time this year. I don't know why. We just thoroughly enjoy that show. We're probably gonna watch it all the way to completion, all the way up to Chorus. This is all on Netflix. It's just a good show. I just want to put that on my notes that go watch Avatar: The Last Airbender if you haven't seen it. Lastly, in my music news, Big Sean announced his new album. I feel like I'm still the only person in the world who is excited for a new Big Sean album. I really am, because he always comes with bangers every album, and people don't give him the respect that he deserves. They don't. This album's gonna be fire. He doesn't put out bad music. He just doesn't get the respect he deserves. I don't understand it. But he has been getting a lot of hate recently because the Nia Rivera stuff that's been going on. So it probably won't do so well. But hey, it was actually trending on Twitter. Big Sean is over party because the "I Don't Fuck With You" song. So it might not do too well. But I'm still a Big Sean fan. He made that song when they were both going through stuff. Nia Rivera talked about it herself. So let that man be. People were saying he's more notable for the people he's dated than his actual music, which I can't agree with. I was about to say Big Kendrick Lamar was spotted filming for a music video, so that could possibly mean more Big Sean music. What is wrong with me? More Kendrick Lamar music, a new Kendrick Lamar album in the future. I'm like out of it right now. I'm sorry. Let me drink some water. Maybe that'll replenish my brain cells. All right, so yeah, hopefully more Kendrick Lamar music will be in the future, since he's actually spotted in public, which he hasn't put out any music since 2017. I'm pretty sure that's been 3 years since we had a Kendrick album, unless you count the Black Panther album. R.I.P. Chadwick. Last thing in media, WAP is still taking over everything. Cardi B's been getting hammered left and right with people calling her out on shit, so that's still going on. Keep doing your thing, Cardi. You've been doing your thing, Cardi. She's the new spokesperson for Balenciaga, so she's making her money, man. She shouldn't care about anything y'all say about her. So that's it for media. Life. We're hopping into what's going on in my life. Not much, really. Just got back from vacation. Went to Myrtle Beach. Practiced some social distancing. You know what I'm saying? As much as that could be expected. But we got to realize that we got to get back to reality at some point. We can't just keep everything closed forever. I'm glad that they actually had that stuff open, because if they'd have closed a lot of stuff down at the beach, I'd have had a horrible vacation. I know that sounds kind of selfish, but dude, they're opening things back up. So if they would have had stuff closed down there, I've been pretty upset. They did have pools, like the pools at the resort we stayed at were actually closed, which really sucks. They had a hot tub and several different pools around the property, and we couldn't even go to. But I'm very relaxed. I'm glad to be back, and vacations are still very much needed. If you need to get out of the house, if you're still self-quarantining, do it safely. I haven't been sick or anything, so I feel like I'm still good. I know people don't show symptoms, but do it safely. Practice social distancing if you can. Wear a mask, and just hold yourself accountable for things that happen around you. You know, because if you go out somewhere and you're mad that you get COVID, it's probably your fault that you went out and made that risk. But then again, we have to get back to some sense of normal. But that's all that's been going on in my life. Just went back to, just came back, and now it's back to reality, back to work, back to the grind, which I am very happy to be back at. I feel comfortable. I feel like this is my space to actually talk about things, you know. All right, so we've been on about 30 minutes. Now we're going to hop into the final topic, which is interracial relationships. I've been wanting to talk about this topic since I started this podcast, and a single tweet motivated me to put this topic on my podcast. A single tweet. I'm not going to call this person out because she's close friends with one of my friends, so I'm not gonna call them out on the ignorance that they spew online, but I'm just gonna talk about my experiences with the interracial relationships and how I feel about them. Okay, so as some of you guys currently know, if you watch the intro to the Hold That Thought podcast, I am married to a beautiful white woman, and I'm perfectly fine with being in a relationship. I'm perfectly fine with it. I've been married for, oh my god, my wife gonna kill me. I've been married. We've been married for a year, and it's almost been a year and a half. We're going on a year and a half of being married, and things been great. So, but I'm just gonna talk about the struggles and the frustrations I have with how people view interracial relationships and all the shit it comes with, man. I've only dated 2 white girls in my life. My wife and my ex. Those are the only 2 I've ever dated, and before that, I've dated nothing but women of color. Like, honestly, I had never dated anyone by white until I went to college. And I know that sounds stereotypical. Oh, so a black dude in college, he gonna leave you for a white girl, and it's so crazy because people not knowing that and just seeing my relationship now only seem to think that I've only ever dated white girls. And that's so interesting that you can just look at what somebody's going through now and have that opinion about them. Like, you don't know what they've been through in the past. They could have just got out of a relationship with someone of their race. Here's the biggest thing I want to hit on in this topic. It doesn't fucking matter, bro. It doesn't fucking matter. It's 2020. If interracial relationships still piss you off to this day, you need to go look at yourself and you need to sit down and think about what really matters to you. Like, is someone else being in a relationship with someone outside of their race that important to you? Does it make you that mad? Does it? I know it does, because people tweet about this shit all the time. Like, why does me dating a white woman have any effect on your life? Huh? Answer that for me. Why does it have any effect on your life? This shit used to be illegal. People died for whistling at white girls, and y'all are mad because we're trying to break that fucking mold? Like, I don't understand people who feel so passionately about it and they're not even in one or have no ties to one. I remember one of my friends, she was in a relationship with a guy, and she was so against interracial relationships because her ex left her for a white girl. And I was like, you're just gonna hold that against all white people forever? You're just gonna hold that against all interracial relationships forever? Just because this one person cheated on you and they're a piece of shit and they cheated on you for someone outside of y'all's race, you're gonna hold that against all interracial couples, and you're just gonna hate interracial couples forever? For what? For what? Because you chose a shit person? That just, man, I really pray for people that have this type of view. And I understand it's not on both sides. I think it probably sounds like I'm coming just after black people when I say that, but it's really not. It's really not, because I see white and black people going after interracial relationships all the time, and it just makes me fucking sick. It really does. As for like why people ask, like, why are you dating a white girl, or why are you married to one? And I was like, well, I didn't choose who I was attracted to. I didn't choose just go out and I was like, I wasn't like, let me go find specific. I'm looking for specifically a white girl. I'm looking for specifically that race. I didn't do that. I met my wife online, and I was open to dating not any and everyone, but people who I thought were interesting. And we went on a date, and that's how we spawned our relationship. And for you to say that because I didn't choose to date a black person makes me any less of a person, fuck you. Like, honestly, fuck you. Like, how does that make any sense? If you don't date someone of your own race, then you're not one of us, man. You selling out to the white man. Like, dude, the anger that fills me sometimes when I hear people talk down about people in interracial relationships, It's the one thing that pisses me like that can really get under my skin. Like, why do you care so much about someone else's love? Like, maybe I sound a little bit passionate right now because it is something I'm passionate about. Like, I've been getting this ever since I started dating white girls. Like, isn't it crazy that you used to, if I were dating my wife 100 years ago, I would be murdered for this shit. And it's crazy because I still kind of am, but no one will say anything to me about it. No one will actually do anything about it. It's all subtweets and people not wanting to say anything to your face. I'd rather somebody say it than just being like very just judgmental about it and then going and running somewhere and tweeting about it. People aren't perfect, man. There's negative relationships and there's positive ones for each culture in each type of relationship. But for you to just hate the specific one just because it's not your type and you're diluting the bloodline, I get so sick of people when I hear that shit. You're diluting the bloodline, man. We ain't gonna have our people no more. Boy, it's just crazy. Like, you know, it was crazy. You know what really interests me is like, if my wife just happened to be black, I wouldn't be dealing with any of these issues. Like, when I was first in relationships when I get my first one, I think it was about 2015, so about 5 years ago, and things were even worse. And obviously I live in South Carolina, so things down here aren't that great racially. I mean, they're not great anywhere racially in America, really. But the looks that we get every time we go somewhere, and we just get stared at, and it's like people haven't accepted it in their mind that a black person can be with a white person, or that an Asian person can be with a black person, or a black person can date any other race. It's possible and it's legal, dude. Why are, I've asked that question so many times. Why does that bother you so much? Just ask yourself, if me saying any of this bothers you, ask yourself that question. Why does this bother me so much? They're not bothering me. I'm not a part of your life. I mean, you may come to me for entertainment sometimes, but what does me marrying a white woman have to do with anything of your life, man? There's one situation that really, the one that sticks out to me the most is me and my wife had just, I don't really remember if it was before or after we got engaged. I feel like it was after, because we were at Disney Kingdom, we're at Disney World, and we're at whichever the one has the castle, and I think it's Magic Kingdom. That's the one. We were there, and I think we were walking to go to a ride or something, and I'm walking, I think, behind my wife, and this young black girl walks past us, and she looks at me, she looks at my wife, and we're holding hands, just walking down the middle. My wife was a bit in front of me, and I hear this girl staring at me, and she says, "That's some Get Out shit." And I didn't say anything because it's just a little girl, and I just thought, that's really the impact that movie had on interracial relationships, that young kids are gonna watch this and demonize a white woman and a black man together just because they saw a movie where a white woman was trying to kidnap a black guy, kidnapped a few black guys. And I sit there, I never thought about that movie having that type of impact on my life, and I was just like, wow. This young girl sat there and watched that movie, and then I know kids don't have filters, but that's not an excuse. Don't you feel like maybe that parent should have sat down and talked to that child about what happened in that movie? That kid might had to have been no older than 13, maybe younger. She was a little girl. And for some strange reason, I told my wife, because she didn't hear it. I told her days later. I was like, do you remember we were walking and that little kid said, I thought she heard it initially. Maybe she just ignored it, but she didn't hear it at all. I was like, do you remember that little kid said that's some get out shit when we walked past him? And I felt like it kind of broke her inside a little bit. I don't want to speak for her. Maybe it didn't. Maybe she just brushed it off like I did. But I feel like when I told her that, her face like dropped a little bit. And she was like, I'm glad I didn't hear that. And I was like, I wish I didn't. I really wish I did not hear that little child say that. But it happened. And you know what's funny about Get Out? Is people look at that movie that way and they want to villainize interracial relationships. And Jordan Peele's married to a white woman. They want to throw that movie in our face, but Jordan Peele's married to a white woman. They look happily married, but I don't know. So that was probably one of the most glaring. It wasn't the worst thing that's happened to me being in one, but it was the most glaring issue that I've come to observe as of being in a relationship. And we just got engaged. I proposed to my wife at Magic Kingdom, and just to have that happen like right, I'm pretty sure it happened after. To have that happen after really just like, this is what the rest of my life is. And I'm willing to fight this fight. I really am. I have no problem defending people who want to date people outside their relationships and fucking arguing, like not arguing, but having an open and honest conversation about what the fuck is wrong with you if you're not okay with it. I'm honestly open to that. If you guys feel a different way in the comments, let me know, because this issue has been like pressing on me. I wish I like had more. I do have more to say about it, but I wish I had even a more in-depth conversation about it. Like, I wish I could talk to someone who didn't agree with me. But you know what's crazy is like I love women of every race. It really did not matter. Like, I've dated so like a lot of different races, like a lot, and I have had great relationships with black women, and I've had great relationships with Hispanic women, and they all fell through. It's not like I didn't want things to work out. I really genuinely did, but it just didn't happen for me. And I ended up with a woman I really love from the bottom of my heart. And people can hate us just because she's a different color than I am, or I'm a different color than she is. So that's part of my rant. I just think that if you can't think progressively on this topic, then it just shows quite a bit of immaturity and ignorance on your side. Because I know we're never gonna see it, but in like 200 years, you don't think there are gonna be more light-skinned people, more people who are just in the middle? And I know some people don't want that because you want to keep your heritage. I understand that. That's great to keep that. And I love couples that are dating inside their race too. They're great. They're amazing. I love black love. I love it. I love white love. When people love each other, it's a beautiful thing. But to not want that for anyone, depending on their race, is just stupid and immature. It really is. Because in 100 years, or however long it's going to take for people to start realizing that dating outside of my race isn't inherently a bad thing, a lot of us are going to look like that. A lot of the people in the future are going to look like that. My child won't be the same skin complexion as me, and I'm okay with that, because my niece is as dark as me. So it's not like we're just gonna all go out of style. Like, black isn't gonna go out of style. Trust me, we're fine. And that's when I get to the topic of family. Family on my side, I haven't seen too many issues with it, but honestly, I probably would if I still talked to my dad's side. And the reason I say that is because on that side, I don't think that many people at all are in interracial relationships. But if there is any kind of racism or hate on the side that I actually talk to, I haven't seen it. So I've been really grateful to have the support system that I do. and I really rely on them. It's not like I'm looking for their appreciation, their acceptance on anything, because with my ex-girlfriend, I don't even think I told my mom that she was white. She just met her, and she probably saw pictures online, and she just welcomed her and embraced her with open arms. And I was just like, that's how it should be. With my ex, when it came to her family, I just felt so, and I know this happens to a lot of guys if they're in a situation. There's some family members who are fine and who aren't inherently racist, but it's really a challenge, like figuring out who they are, because they can be in your face and like hugging you and dapping you up and like whatnot. But when you leave and your girlfriend or your partner at that time says, "Oh, did you hear what Uncle blah 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 said?" As soon as you left, he started calling you the N-word. Like, that happened. And it's not an easy task, and it's not something I relish in or something I want to go through, but for the love of my life, it's something I'm willing to go through. I'm not saying this is happening with my wife now, but she probably does have people on her side that are racist, but when it's not like we talk to them on a regular basis. Her parents have been great to me. I feel like we really get along. But hey, we try our best, We try our best with dealing with situations, and our families, I think, have been really, more so than I've dealt with in the past. They've been really accepting of what we're trying to do with our life and our relationship. So I love my wife's family, and she loves mine. So we're fine. And it can go on both sides, man. It really can. Because some people think that black people can't be racist, but they really can. I had a family member said that some of the most racist people he know are black. So it goes both ways. Don't think it's just on one side. So that's where I'm gonna end it, man. If I said anything that was helpful, man, make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. Video version will be up on YouTube. I appreciate all you guys for coming through to the Hold That Thought podcast, episode 3. I try to shorten it a little bit for you, and if you have any different opinions on this topic, I'd love to actually sit down and talk to you, or get on a Discord call with you and really discuss why you think that way, or why I think that way. You've heard my thoughts about it, so why do you think that it's a problem? If you really do, if you agree with me, let me know too. If you're in an interracial relationship as well, let me know how it's going. Have you gone through any of these struggles that I have? Like, I really want to know, guys. So I hope you guys have a really great rest of your day. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, you are a goat. Excuse me, sorry. You're a goat. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time on the Hold That Thought podcast. Yes, sir. Did you like that video? Me too, because I made it. I know it's good. If you did like that video, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new here, subscribe. Make sure you have that bell turned on for notifications for when I make a new video. Also, you can catch me on any of the socials down below. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all those. I'm on there. That's it. See you guys later.